We're diving into two cases where the grace of the court has officially run out. First up, we have Ricardo Solis. He was given deferred adjudication for a serious assault charge back in 2021. But there's one massive problem. He basically goes through the entire legal system for 3 years. Now, he's back in front of Judge Boyd, pleading for his life while the prosecutor is counting up every single month he missed reporting. Pay attention to the math here. It gets brutal.
What would you like me to know?
I'm sorry.
Sir.
I'm not trying to act like I'm not remorseful for his situation. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to say my diagnoses or why I did this. I'm very remorseful, and like I said, I'm more willing to do anything. And with this prison time, I'm
keep an open mind, right? So the problem is nobody's seen you since 2021.
Recommend I get a term sentence, Judge. That's one.
Your Honor, I'll do anything to put on probation. I'll finish it, Your Honor. If it's to add a year or two to my probation, I'll finish it, Your Honor. I will. I'll do whatever it takes.
You now, Mr. Waters, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
All right, did you review the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilty and revoke community supervision and state's motion to supplement pending motion to enter adjudication of guilty and revoke probation with your attorney? Did you understand that?
Yes.
Are you the same Ricardo Anthony Salas who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 10239 for the offense of assault, family choking, strangulation on February 9, 2021 for a period of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes.
All right, state.
This morning we're here on state's motion to enter adjudication.
Listen to this list. The judge is reading off every single month from 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024 where Ricardo failed to report. In the legal world, condition number 5 is usually the easiest one to follow. Just show up or call. By pleading true to all of these, Ricardo is admitting he didn't just make a mistake. He lived an entire life outside the law while on paper he was still under court's thumb. Question for you guys. If someone goes 3 years without a single violation other than not reporting, should they still go to prison? Let me know in the comments.
Guilt and revoke community supervision. Violation condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ricardo Anthony Salas, did then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of August and September 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
All right, to that, how do you plead? True or not true?
On what he said?
Yes.
True.
Yes.
All right, so you seem a little bit unsure. So the state is saying that you didn't report for the months of August and September in 2021. Do you understand that?
Yeah, she was the one that usually sent me a text or a call to let me know like it was on Zoom.
No. So here's the thing.
It's true. Or
Yes. So sometimes when people plead true, they plead true and then they say, hey, judge, no, I didn't report, but I have an explanation. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you've heard states reading a violation of condition number 5 that they're saying you violated?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, to that, how do you plead? True or not true?
True.
All right, state.
For the original motion to enter adjudication of guilt, we will waive the remaining violations and we will now proceed on the supplemental motion, Your Honor.
All right.
Violation condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ricardo Anthony Salas, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of October, November, and December 2021 in violation condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violation condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ricardo Anthony Salas, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December 2022 in violation condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Violation condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ricardo Anthony Salas, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December 2023, and violation condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Violation condition number 5. In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Ricardo Anthony Salas, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of January 2024, in violation condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true? And state, do you waive the other violations?
I don't believe there are any others on the supplemental.
Well, you're correct. All right, any objections to the state's waivers to the other violations?
No, ma'am.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violations 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor. We're both going to go open to the court for our recommendation.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
State's requesting a revocation of defendant's probation, adjudication of guilt, and 3 years TDC.
And defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, well, obviously I have a different recommendation. I don't know if you want me to give it to you now. I have one witness that I would like for you to hear.
Oh, come up.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Ibanez, his name's Justin Ibanez, Judge.
Okay.
And as he's walking up here, I don't intend on calling all of them, but if you're here for Ricardo, can you stand up, please? I just wanted the court to know that he has his grandmother, mother, and siblings all here in court today.
All right, and what is your name, sir?
Justin Ibanez.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, and if you can lower your hand. And you said Ibanez?
Ibanez, yes.
How do you spell the last name?
Ybanez.
All right.
And yeah, on top of the N too.
Okay. I don't know if the court reporter has that symbol she can put. All right. Defense, do you have questions, or did he just want to let the court know some information?
He does, Judge. I just wanted to ask him this one question. Just if you could tell Judge Boyd, how long have you actually known Ricardo?
Since elementary, if I could remember. Yeah, like 4th and 5th grade.
A long time.
Very long.
So
time.
you have
15 years.
Sorry, you have prepared a statement you would like to share with Judge Boyd about Ricardo?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. You can do that.
Good morning, Your Honor, and the people of the court. I'm here today for Ricardo Anthony Salas and to tell you the type of man he is. We both grew up together most of our lives, and I can say he is one of the most hardworking men I've known. He's very dedicated to his family, a great family man. Not only have we grown up together, but we've had similar tragedies. Both of our fathers have passed away just months apart. And as we are here today trying to follow in our father's footsteps, to try not miss a second of our children's lives by sending them away for so long will not be beneficial for him or his family, as it can have an effect on his kids for the fact that he was always there, never missing a day of their lives, with Zoe doing cheer, Naya taking her to school every day, and being an ultimate babysitter for baby Ricky. These past months have been very hard on the children, and I know that he can change his ways for the better, to be a better citizen and hardworking for his family and kids who he loves very much. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any objection to my asking a question?
No objection from the state.
All right. So this is what I want you to realize. And I keep an open mind when everybody's on probation, right?
Yes.
Because sometimes people have things that happen, and I understand. Where has he been since 2021? Because we're in 2025, and I want you to understand, he's on probation.
Mhm.
And the easiest thing to do is report. And I tell everybody, if there's an issue, you can always come to this court and discuss the issue with me. But according to what he's just played true to, nobody's seen him since 2021. And I understand when people are like, great, I'm living my life. I'm not picking up any new cases. But being on probation, there are conditions with that. There's no such probation where the probation is you're on probation and I'm just going to disappear, because otherwise, why do we have probation?
Yes.
So where has he been? Do you know?
He's been in the same place
Mhm.
since 2020, or he moved down the street to his dad's, and he's been working there.
But did you know he was on probation? Did he let you know that?
I did, but I thought it was dismissed because they stopped talking to him. They stopped reaching out.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming in and giving me some insight into him. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other witnesses?
There are no other witnesses.
All right. You can come forward. All right. So, Mr. Salas,
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate the fact that your family is here. I appreciate the fact that you have witnesses who are coming in to support you, right? But the easiest thing to do when you're on probation is report. I mean, that's easy. And so the issues with you is any objection to the court review and the court summary?
No, not at all. And I do have some comments for the court that I don't think appear in the summary at the appropriate time.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to give you my thought process. And then, of course, I will still keep an open mind, right? So the problem is nobody's seen you since 2021.
Mhm.
And then according to the court summary, you haven't completed anything. Is there anything that you've completed on probation other than just, I didn't pick up any new offenses?
Just the family violence class.
All right, they're saying here that you have not completed the
Not
BIP,
completed.
the parenting classes, or outpatient treatment.
Okay. Can I just tell you my side of the story real quick?
Do you have any objections to? All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Part of us.
All right, so why didn't you report?
All right, so we're 8 months into it and everything going good. And then I had my mom in the hospital from COVID. This is all during COVID. I had my mom in the hospital. I just had a newborn son, and then my dad passes away. I'm not trying to come up with no excuse or anything, but I just hoping for like understanding that I wasn't trying to like not report or anything like that. I was going through so much, Your Honor.
Well, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
You haven't reported since.
The judge isn't buying the COVID or family tragic excuse for a 4-year gap. This is a classic too little, too late defense. Notice her point. He's an adult, not a teenager. In a courtroom, the moment you stop communicating is the moment you lose the benefit of the doubt. The defense attorney tries a Hail Mary by comparing Ricardo to a college football team. But when you're facing 10 years for a family violence charge, a sports analogy is a risky play.
2021. We're in 2025. So I do understand when people have family members to pass away, when people have family members very ill. I understand when COVID was going on, but you didn't even pick up the phone in 2022. All right. And now, COVID, okay. 2023, 2024. All you have to do was pick up the phone and call probation. I understand when people have issues that are going on in their life, but they haven't seen you since 2021. And according to this court summary, you didn't do the BIP course. This is an assault family violence case, so you need to do that.
Okay.
According to this, you didn't do the parenting classes and you didn't do outpatient treatment. So have you done any of those?
I started like 2 or 3 classes when I think of the Zoom meetings.
Mhm.
I'm not too sure how far. I know I started it right away. And then being in jail, ma'am, I'm sorry. It opened my eyes to like I should have caught it. I should have done other things other than not caught.
Yeah, everybody, let me just tell you, a lot of people have an eye-opening experience when they go to jail
Mhm.
or when they go to prison. They're like, now I see.
Yes.
But it's not as though you're a teenager,
Okay.
you're an adult, so it shouldn't take that.
Gotcha.
And everybody, you can't be on probation and not be on probation. And what I mean by that is you have certain conditions you have to follow.
Yes, ma'am.
And your condition can't be, well, I didn't pick up any charges. It's not like in municipal court where they give you deferred and they tell you just don't pick up any new cases and you'll be fine. Okay.
Can I,
Yes.
can I add on a little
Sure.
bit? So I had the exact same dialogue with Mr. Salas. He did tell me about his situation, and I think early on he got off to a decent start. And then COVID did affect his entire family. He did lose his father to COVID when his mother was very, very ill. And as I understand, the probation department was there in the home. At one instance, the mother was very ill with COVID. Their father had already passed. The file documents all of this. And I asked Ricardo the same thing, like, I understand 3, 6, even a year of your life being so affected by your loved ones. But at some point, you're going to have to come back into the fold. And as so often happens, I think you fall into a hole that's up to your knees and you just let it continue. And before you know it, it hits your chest. And then 2 years later, it's over your head. And I'm not going to say he just kind of gave up, but I think at that point, he just kind of understood that he messed up. And it was the wrong response. So there's no justification for it. There is no good answer. The only analogy that I can kind of give you that I think might, resonate with you is, I know that you're a college football fan and, you have your team and one day your team comes out and they're a good team, they're a great team, and they lose a game they shouldn't lose and they play terrible and they can't do anything right. But you don't give up on them. And the next week they come out and they beat the Aggies or somebody like that. And Ricardo's, the Aggies. Ricardo's kind of like that. He's a good guy. And talking to him, he is. I've seen pictures of his children. He's a very good father. He works and supports them. He didn't go anywhere. He just didn't call and get caught back up. And I told him, had you done that, we wouldn't even be in this boat, most likely. What I'm asking, and it's a big ask, is the court can put him on a regular probation. I do believe and know that he can do the things you ask him to do. And jail, yeah, it's an eye opener, but it's a bit of a cop out because you're right. In jail, hell, I'll do anything or say anything because I don't want to be in jail. I don't want to go to prison. Do I believe that he will do the things you want him to do? Absolutely. I do. I've talked to all these people behind me. He's got that. He's got great support. And I told them, you got to get on him. If he's, you got to stay on him. We should never have gotten this far, but we did. And so the prison, of course, it'll be there waiting for him. And my ask is that you take him off deferred, put him on regular, and let him do all the things that he still needs to do and will do. I can't explain his actions. I know part of the beginning, but the rest of it, he just screwed up. There's no excuse. He screwed it up and he knows it. But he wants to make it right, and I believe he can. And so I'm hoping the court kind of sees that in him and allows him to do that.
All right. So I want you to know that I listened to everything that everyone said. I've internalized everything. However, I just don't think you would be a good candidate for probation because nobody's seen you since 2021.
Please, Your Honor.
I'm sorry. So I'm going to find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. I'll give you credit for any time served. Does anyone want to speak to time? State is requesting 3 years.
I mean, obviously, Judge, I'd ask the court to recommend the minimum term if possible. He does not have that much time in. He does have 4 dependent children. They're going to be suffering alongside him too. I don't believe he has. I don't recall his history prior to this, but I don't think I don't think there was anything else there. So the court could recommend a minimum term sentence, Judge. That's what
Your Honor, I'll do anything to put on probation. I'll finish it, Your Honor. If it's to add a year or 2 to my probation, I'll finish it, Your Honor. I will. I'll do whatever it takes to not be in there anymore. I'll finish it, Your Honor.
All right. This is what the court is going to do.
The hammer drops. Despite the family support and the emotional pleas, the judge revokes his probation. He's headed to prison for 3 years. But wait for that last-second twist. The judge mentions she'll retain jurisdiction. In some states, this is called shock probation. It means if he behaves in prison for a few months, she might bring him back and give him one last chance. Do you think he'll actually show her something this time?
The court is going to, as previously stated, revoke, find you guilty. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. The court will give you credit for any time served. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, and the court will retain jurisdiction. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, you have a right to appeal. It's a limited right to appeal as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right. Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing. When you go to prison, you better show me something. Your attorney will explain that to you. Do you understand? All right, and what is this on the side?
I've had that since I was younger.
All right, make sure you get a doctor to check that out, okay? And your attorney will talk to you about everything that I've said and what it means. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Switching gears to Ohio, we meet Isaiah Buchanan. If the last case was about a man who disappeared, this one is about a young man who can't stay out of trouble. He's 19 with a rap sheet that started at age 12. His mother is pleading for mental health consideration, but the prosecution is pointing to a trail of victims. This is a juvenile to adult pipeline in real time, and the judge is clearly losing patience.
Versus Isaiah Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan is before the court with his counsel, Mr. Aldridge, Mr. Hardman, Mr. Rye. On behalf of the state of Ohio, we're here for sentencing. So everyone had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hardman, anything on behalf of the state?
Your Honor, on behalf of the state of Ohio, the court is well aware of the contacts the defendant has had with the court system, mostly through juvenile court, obviously because of his age. It's the position of the state of Ohio at this point that there's not much left to do. There's been attempts repeatedly to curb his behavior. They've been unsuccessful. We would ask that the defendant be incarcerated. We have spoken to the victim of this case, Mr. Krasik, and he has no position with regard to ultimately he feels like the court and relying upon the court and the state to have his best interest at heart as far as what happens here. There is restitution for medical bills, $11,277.75.
Anything from probation?
Nothing further than what was discussed in chambers.
Mr. Aldridge?
Several things, Your Honor. First off, the defendant's mother is present. She would like to address the court.
Okay, come on up.
You don't have to speak into the microphone. It's recording you. That should out of the way. If you can just state your name for the court reporter.
Jennifer Buchanan.
What would you like me to know?
I'm sorry. I know my son, I make no excuses for, I don't condone any of his behavior throughout juvenile court and now in your court today. However, I would like you to take into consideration that since this incident happened, he has been compliant with anything that they have asked him to do. He has taken initiative to work with his physician in getting on a good medication regimen to help with his multiple mental health diagnoses. I know when he comes in front of, the investigators, that it is very hard for him to articulate how he feels. He has a very flat affect, which makes him seem, I don't know how to explain it correctly to make you understand, but during his confinement at home, we have had multiple discussions regarding his behavior, his future, the things that he's done, the chances that he's had, etc. He doesn't want to spend his life in jail. He doesn't want to. He wants to have a normal life. He wants to go to school, get an education, start a career, and that kind of thing. He's made it. He's going to, depending on what happens here today, he's going to Warren County Career Center here in a couple of weeks to talk with several instructors there to determine if there's a program at the Career Center that he could take. He even talked to an Army recruiter to possibly, if depending on, again, the outcome of today, on possible military service at some point, to try to get his life in order. Has never set out to hurt anybody. He knows that what he did is wrong, but he's made changes to abide by the GPS monitoring, the probation, even prior to being charged. You know, he followed like the guidelines that he was supposed to follow. So I would just like you to take all of that into consideration when you make your decision on whether to, however you decide to, the punitive aspect of this.
Thank you. Anything else?
We have submitted a couple of letters to the court, including an apology letter to the victim, knowing exactly what his mental health issues are. I think he does have some significant mental health issues that have affected not only this incident, but obviously his prior record over in juvenile court. And obviously we're not looking to downplay that at all. He has not been very cooperative with the court system in the past. And he does come across, in my experience with him, much younger than his age, not as mature as you would expect. And I think that is attributable to his ongoing mental health issues. I think it's a positive that he has removed himself away from Franklin and the kids that he was running with over there. He's 18 years old. Sorry, Your Honor.
Sorry. It's all right. Go ahead.
He's 18 years old, and obviously this is his first time here over in Common Pleas Court. I do think that he can benefit from the opportunities and things that this court can provide. I do request that the court consider placing him on probation.
Did he test today?
I didn't get an email, but
I didn't either.
I believe he did test positive for marijuana this morning, or that's what they told him at least. Again, I don't know what the level was, but...
well, they wouldn't know the level until they send it out for confirmation. All right. Anything else?
Nothing else, Your Honor.
Mr. Buchanan, is there anything you'd like to say before I sentence you?
Yes, I would like to say that I am very remorseful for everything that's happened, and I got onto some new medicine to start taking.
For what?
My anger, my ADHD, and just to help stabilize myself.
Well, you don't take medicine for your anger. What's the medication prescribed for? What's the diagnosis that it's prescribed for?
I'm not sure my exact diagnosis, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
He has been on these medications off and on for years. He just has really bad side effects. They also have talked to him that if this doesn't work, that there are other medications that he can take.
That's not included in the assessment.
We explained all of those to her.
Well, I know you explained it. Was there any documentation provided of any of these diagnoses? Because this assessment was done, I don't have a date on it, but it says he's
Juvenile court was provided with his medical records.
Juvenile court provided us with nothing, ma'am. Juvenile court didn't even provide us with any of his infractions that were requested while he was in juvenile detention.
Okay.
We got nothing from juvenile court, although it was requested.
Okay, because she said was going to request that, and that's why I did not provide his, because she said she was going to request that.
All right. What else do you want me to know?
And I'm also looking into furthering my education.
Did you complete your high school education?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, go ahead.
And I was looking to go to the Career Center. I've also reached out to other schools. And also, like my mom mentioned, I contacted a Army recruiter. I would like to go and talk to them and see if maybe I could get into that. And any type of programs or anything that you sentence me to, I'm going to work them. I'm going to do everything as you say. And I just apologize and I'm sorry. And I would ask for another chance, please.
How many chances do we have to give you before you kill somebody? I'm looking at your record, 2018. That means you would have been about what? 14? 13? 12? You're 19 now?
Yes, sir.
7 years ago, you would have been 12 years old. You got your first conviction for assault. Who did you assault when you were 12?
It was a mutual fight at school.
2019, assault. Who did you assault then?
It was also a thing at school.
2021, violation of a court order. 2021, failure to comply with the order of a police officer, felony of the 3rd degree. You know, that's a prison sentence in this court. 2021, violation of a court order. 2021, violation of a court order. 2022, violation of a court order.
Yes,
2023, aggravated menacing. 2024, criminal mischief, criminal damaging. 2024, criminal mischief.
Yes, sir.
You have 3 offenses of violence on your record right now. This is 4. This is your 4th offense of violence.
And I understand that, and I'm looking to better myself. I don't want to live how I did in the past. And I'm sorry. I promise I can do anything, any type of program.
Most people are sorry when they're standing here at this point of the proceedings.
I understand.
I mean, all right, the court's considered the statements made here today, the pre-sentence investigation. The court has reviewed the letters that have been submitted by the defendant, the purposes and the principles of sentencing, the relevant seriousness and recidivism factors. Mr. Buchanan, I have serious concerns for you. And for some reason, and I understand this flat effect that you may present yourself with, but I think this goes much deeper than this. You can't blame violence on just the mental health conditions that you have described here today. That's not the cause of you hurting somebody seriously. I'm sorry?
I said yes, sir.
Okay. I don't need you to respond. I mean, if you have something else to say, I'll give you an opportunity. So you need to say it now, because once I get started, I don't want to be interrupted.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Is there something else you want me to know? Our juvenile court system, I know that there are limitations on what they can do, but this is no longer juvenile court, and there are serious consequences. Anytime you make a choice in your life, make a bad choice, there's going to be bad consequences. I don't think that you've taken this as seriously as I would have liked. When you were confronted about the marijuana use, and you and I have had this discussion, your response was, well, juvenile court approved your medical marijuana. I don't know what the benefits of marijuana are. I truly don't. I don't allow marijuana on my docket. I think it's harmful, especially someone of your young age, where your brain is still developing to some extent. It does nothing but harm you. But I don't think that you.
And there it is. The judge rejects a request for probation, citing the defendant's lack of seriousness, specifically using medical marijuana as an excuse while on bond. He gets 3 to 4.5 years. Both of today's defendants asked for one more chance. But as we saw, the court sees a pattern where the defendants see an accident. Which judge do you think was more fair today? The one who gave a maybe on shock probation, or the one who drew a hard line on the marijuana use? Smash that like button if you learned something about the legal system today.
Taken this as seriously as you want me to believe, and I do find today that you are not amenable to community control. So I am going to order you to serve a prison sentence, a minimum term sentence of 3 years, maximum term sentence of 4.5 years. And the court does find that prison is necessary to fulfill the purposes and principles of sentence, including punishment, deterrence, and protection of the public. You have 0 days jail time credit at this time. There's a restitution owed of $11,277.75 to Joshua Krasik. That is ordered to be paid joint and severally with your co-defendants. You're also subject to a mandatory period of post-release control, which means upon your release from prison, the Adult Parole Authority will supervise you for a minimum term of 18 months up to 3 years. If you violate that supervision, you can be returned to prison for up to 1/2 of this court's original minimum term sentence. If your violation is that you commit another felony, you can be returned to prison for 1 year or the period that you have left on PRC, whichever is longer. That time would run consecutive to any additional prison time that you get sentenced to. It's possible for you to earn good time credit against your minimum term sentence of 5 to 15%. For good behavior. The court has a right to deny your good time credit. A hearing would be held to make that determination. Regardless of whether you receive good time credit, you will be released when you finish your minimum term unless the Department of Corrections determines that you must remain in prison for bad conduct. The court is not involved in that decision. If you're not released when your minimum term ends, you will serve an additional specified period of time, and given a new release date, you will serve until that date unless you are again denied release. This process would repeat until you are released or you finish your maximum term. Now, before I give you your right of appeal, I want to give you some hope, because it's not my intention to ruin your life. Your decision has caused you a major setback in your life. I will tell you right now that I will consider you for judicial release, and I will release you from prison after a 6-month period in prison. So after 6 months, your attorney will file, or you can contact Mr. Aldridge, and he'll file a motion for judicial release. The conditions and what I'm looking at is that you've complied with all the terms and conditions of your confinement, which means you follow the rules. You show me that you can follow the rules. And then after 6 months, if you've done that, I will release you and put you on community control at that time. Do you understand me?
Yes.
I want to give you some hope. I'm not here to ruin your life, but you need to understand that when you hurt somebody as seriously as you did in this case, and you've done it in the past, you've had prior convictions for assault, that there are serious consequences now. You are no longer in juvenile court. Now, you do have a right to appeal the court's decision of your sentence to the 12th District Court of Appeals. If you want to appeal, you must file your notice of appeal within 30 days of today's date. If you can't afford to pay for the transcript or anything necessary for your appeal, that can all be provided to you at no cost. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint one for you at no cost. Mr. Hardman, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing else.
You understand that you have 6 months. Behave yourself, and I will see you back here in 6 months.
All right.
Okay? All right. Your bond is revoked. At this time, there's a deputy standing behind you. You're remanded into the custody of the Warren County Sheriffs for transport to the Department of Corrections.
Your Honor, can
Yes,
I
sir.
also say one more thing?
I'm sorry?
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to act like I'm not remorseful for his situation. I don't want you to think that I'm trying to say my diagnoses are why I did this. I'm very remorseful, and like I said, I'm more willing to do anything. And with this prison time, I'm going to show you that, sir.
Okay.
And
I look forward to seeing you in 6 months then. Okay?
Sir.
Good luck.
can I please give my mom?
That's up to the deputies at this point.
Does he need?
And his curfews,
Mischief, trespass, theft, gun case, theft,
Judge, when he was arraigned, we established that so many of these cases are just a result of him hanging out at this little drugstore. The cops know who he is. They know who everyone there is. So really, he just needs to stop hanging out at that drugstore. He's not, and well,
While
I'm
he's
sorry.
on off for both of these cases, he picks up another theft.
And that's upstairs in felony. And right now the offer is 18 months state jail. So he's dealing with that right now. The evading is at that same little drugstore. And I'm sorry, my memory is actually coming back to me. A lot of those thefts were necessary items from Target or Walmart, because we went over that for arraignment. They were literally, when it was winter, it was literally hoodies, sweatshirts, and socks. And then when it was summer, it was like underwear. Most of those thefts are necessary items. When I was appointed, we got him a social worker through the MAC and housing through Search. And his girlfriend was pregnant at the time. She was only like 2 months pregnant. Now she's pretty much due. They have housing that they got through the services we were able to provide. He hasn't picked up any new cases because right now they're barely making ends meet, but they are making ends meet. They're still together. She relies on him to go to their appointments. He gets the things that she needs because her mobility has decreased now. She came up here and spoke for him in front of you. She'd been to like college and everything, and you gave her a big speech. You gave him a speech about supporting her through her hormonal shifts. He was just telling me about that. He was like, I keep thinking about what Judge Fleischer said. She woke me up crying this morning because she said she's fat and ugly, and I just held her and I made her feel better. And I'm trying to do that every day because I remember what the judge told me. That's where he is right now, Judge. So he understands that he broke that curfew a couple times. He says the late ones are just from him trying to get a job and getting home late. But
He's been saying that he had a job. He's out at 11 o'clock at night. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just.
he's still got the felony pending. He's ready to resolve these. If the court will allow, I think it's a good resolution for him.
I'm not going to do it.
Why? What would be the alternative, Judge?
I want him on probation, and I want to monitor him for the next 2 years so I can make sure that he's not messing up. So I can keep him and just, I want him to get his high school. Does he have a high school diploma?
I can't remember.
How'd you going? Do you mind bringing up Mr. Waters?
If we have to do that, can you not revoke his bond so that he and I can talk about it while not under the strain of my bond's going to be revoked, so I'm going to spend the night in jail if I don't get this plea done? Can we not revoke his bond? Other than the bond violations, he wasn't here on yesterday when he was supposed to be because he had felony court today. He thought he was supposed to come here after felony court. Or whenever that was, I'm sorry. But he didn't just blow off the court yesterday.
I'm very upset with you. Very, very upset. I thought we had things going.
I'm sorry, Judge.
I thought we had things going right. You know, you've been doing well. And now you've got this bond violation where you're doing whatever the hell you want to do again. Don't work like that. And I don't know what I need to do to get your attention that at this stage in your life, it's not about what you want to do. It's about complying with bond conditions. We have literally bent over backwards to try to help you with things, and you continue to shoot yourself in the foot. Your lawyer, Miss Hawkins, wants to plead you guilty now because you have a warrant. I'm done with this revolving door of you picking up a case and getting out. Picking up a case, getting out. You now, Mr. Waters, have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Cap, man. That's cap. I'm gonna fight for my life, man. That's cap, man. I've been by my baby mama's side, man. Been taking care of everything I got to take care of, man. That's cap, man.
Mr. Waters, look at me.
That's cap, man.
Mr. Waters, you don't get rewarded for doing things that you should do anyways.
You know what I gotta do?
Meaning what you're doing is great and it keeps you out of jail. But do you want me to pat you on the back for doing what you should be doing anyways?
I ain't asking. Man, I ain't asking. I'm just asking you, like, just give me a little more time. I've been doing these jobs. I've been going through the whole package. I've been going to these hospitals with my girl, going to go check up on our little one that's coming, and I want to be there.
If you are old enough to have a baby, then these are the things that you should do anyways. You don't get rewarded for being a good father. The reward is that you have a kid that grows up like a little flower that blossoms, right? Because there are so many people that have babies that treat their kids like shisa, and they end up like rotten ass kids that like a flower are just crooked. And just when you're a father, the duty of a father is to stand by the side of their kid, stand by the side of the wife, to make their lives as comfortable, as great, educational, and supportive as possible. That is the duty of a father, right? If you can't, then don't have kids. Then be a man to use a prophylactic or think, maybe I'm not in the best position right now to have a baby. You think before you act. This is the sign of being an adult, of being mature, and growing up, Mr. Waters. But me, with you now, I'm not going to just continue with this revolving door. You've been doing well because you've not picked up any cases, which is great, right?
And I have not been doing nothing. I have not been kicking her. I have been at that store.
So tell me about the curfew then. What's up with that?
Okay, with the curfew, I can understand. Me and my girl, we got into it, and I ended up walking out, trying to go get some fresh air. Was not thinking. I can admit to that, and I'm sorry. The hormone going crazy with us, and we trying to, fight and get right with this. But
I need to know about this.
I'm trying to. I can't talk. Y'all be telling me I can't talk, and
I've given you a lawyer to talk to.
And I told her everything. So she can come and tell you and let you know. Keep stuff updated. Sir, I've been out the way. I ain't been on no lollygagging stuff. I'm really maturing. I'm ready to be a dad. I'm ready for this. Well, I'm doing a little something on the side. I ain't doing no drugs, no none of that. I'm, volunteering with my girl dad now.
Why can't you? Why can you not get a 9-to-5 job?
With my 9-to-5, I gotta have my ID and stuff, and I'm working with Search, my housing people. They got me my apartment. They finna give me my social security card and my ID card, and that's all I need, so I can go ahead and get on.
Second, were we working on this?
Yeah, so first he was with Search to just get housing. At first they didn't have housing, so he has an apartment and everything now. I'm not sure like the step-by-step how everything progresses, but he does still work with them. I've actually spoken with his officer, your case manager. He also had a social worker assigned with MAC. They were informed that he is working with Search, so they just kind of check in here and there, but they won't also work with him because he's also working with Search, but they'll just make sure things are okay. So he is still working with Search and has a case manager with them. Has housing now. I wasn't aware of the ID issues or anything.
Not being telling, send the application.
What we're going to do now is we're going to work on this in extremely slow baby steps. I want you now to go get your ID. I want you to get your ID. And I'm going to give you a week for you to go get it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you are not back here in a week with your ID, it's not going to go well. After we get your ID, then you and I are going to work together to get you a job. A 9-to-5 job where you're working every single day. Because if you are about to have a baby, that baby needs food, that baby needs clothes, and the only way you get that is by working. And I'm not talking about these side jobs here, there. No, an actual J-O-B. Do you understand? I'm going to reinstate your bond right now with the expectation that you're going to get your ID. If you don't, it's really not going to go well.
Thank you, Judge.
As to bond.
Your Honor, we are just looking to address the condition of bond that requires that Mr. Hopkins be on house arrest. Prior to this matter, Mr. Hopkins was employed as a result of having the tether police no longer able to, in this case, he was no longer able to maintain that employment. He is hoping to be able to get new employment and is asking that the court consider a no go-to order, a no contact order, or anything of that nature. My client, Mr. Hopkins, also recently registered for the cybersecurity program. Text me that information. I tried to send the confirmation to Ms. Barroso so that she would be able to see it. It's my understanding that the classes are majority online, but that would be the only place that he would have to come across Washtenaw County. Otherwise, he's just asking for some order that would allow him to work and just not have that kind of contact.
Response.
Your Honor, the bond in this case was set at $5,000 cash or surety when we requested a $50,000 bond. In this case, the people are uncomfortable with him being out. This was an event for a series of events that occurred where the defendant assaulted the victim at not one but two locations. An eyewitness saw the defendant shove the victim while near the police station. The police attempted to make contact with the defendant, and then he picked up, as a result of him resisting, picked up 5 counts of R&O against 4 different officers. One of those 5 counts is an R&O causing injury that was so severe that the officer is actually seeking specialized medical treatment from an orthopedic surgeon. At this point, this is a 9.
So hold on. There was a DV and then an officer injured. Why is he out?
Your Honor, if I could address.
Hold on. I'll let Ms. Barroso finish and then you can address it. I just had an intermediate question. Go ahead.
So at this point, I don't think that a modification of bond removing him from being on house arrest is appropriate. We objected to a nominal bond of $5,000 when it was originally granted. At this point, I don't think that any further reduction is appropriate.
A couple of things. First of all, Mr. Hopkins is here with his father. He is 20 years old. He has no prior criminal history. In reviewing the police report and the video, even the report references that the altercation, that the incidents that resulted in this charge, that there were.
In which
that it was,
charge?
I'll start with the domestic violence. That with those charges, that there was a more complicated situation. I believe the officer said, the report says something to the effect of, and this would also go to the property, that there had been physical altercations between the two of them, fighting between the two of them, and breaking of objects between the two of them. So I believe that there's more to this than said. The allegations of the domestic violence are the one of the shoving, and also I believe Mr. Hopkins taking his own computer back from the complainant. That's the second allegation of the domestic violence. And the resisting and obstructing is, the allegations are that Mr. Hopkins, not that Mr. Hopkins turned around and slammed someone or punched them or anything, that he pulled away. The allegation is the officer fell and that caused the injury. And then that officer fell, yes, as he pulled away. And then subsequently, 4 officers who were, some of whom just pulled up on the scene in the video, all ran after him. And that's where the resisting and obstructing comes. And he did, in fact, eventually stop. It was not, it's not as if he were in a vehicle and went miles or hours away. He did stop running, and he did, once they complied, once that occurred, there were no further incidents. So,
Your Honor, I'm sorry, that is not the characterization of the RNO. The allegations include him punching 2 officers in the face, breaking free of their grasp, causing them to fall to the ground, twisting and seriously injuring an officer's finger. And then it went on for such a period of time that an officer had to point and deploy a taser. And that another officer had to point their pistol at a defendant. So at the defendant. So at this point, I don't think it was him passively.
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to view the video.
Well, you had an opportunity to view the video.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, when
I think that's either yes or no. Was a taser deployed?
Your Honor, as soon as the officer saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not, as soon as she saw him, she pointed the taser at him. This is not a situation where he was running and pointed the taser.
I didn't ask that, Ms. Gaines. I did not ask that.
Yes, sir.
Was the taser deployed?
Yes, it was.
Did an officer have to draw their weapon?
I did not see that. I could not see that on the video.
Ms. Burrows, are you indicating an officer had to draw their weapon?
That is what was indicated to me in the file, Your Honor. Yes.
And then there's an officer that's injured. Again, we'll ask the question. I don't know why this individual's out.
Again, Your Honor, he's 20 years old. He has no prior history, and he has no reason to come back to Washtenaw County other than for school in this case. It's my understanding. I have not heard any information that he has had any contact with the complainant, has violated any orders. He is just asking to be able to go to work and to be able to get a job and go to work. Your Honor, would you want to hear from Mr. Hopkins' father, who's present?
I don't know what he could tell me at this point in time. I'm more worried about the bond as it originally is set. I don't. Does he have prior convictions for anything?
No, Your Honor.
That the original domestic was about. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because I'll just tell you, I have some serious concerns that this escalated to a point that officers are having to deploy a taser, pull their weapon, and there are clearly enough officers around to, in my opinion, have subdued this individual without having to do all of that. So something else is going on. And I also have, I mean, one's bad enough, but I have 2 counts of domestic violence.
Again, Your Honor, one of them is him taking back his own computer. That's one of the allegations. And that's why I'm saying there were things that were happening before this. That's not to excuse his behavior. That is to say that there's broader context. And in my view of the video, initially there was 1 officer, then there were 2, and he ran from 2, but as he's running from those 2, there are cars, 4 and 5 cars are pulling up with sirens on an unarmed young man who clearly panicked. This is not someone who's had police involvement, who has a history of contact with law enforcement and the criminal justice system. Again, I'm not excusing, but I do think that there is there's more. I think there are more nuances to this than the prosecutor does.
Well, explain some of those then. Because I've got a victim of a DV that's injured.
She is not, the domestic violence person is not injured. It was the shove and the taking of there's no injury to her.
Domestic violence are 2 misdemeanor counts.
That is
felonies here are 5 counts of are 5 counts.
Yeah, I see that.
Are now causing it.
Maybe I misread that on the report, but
yes.
The injury to the finger that's the officer.
That's correct.
Thank you. I don't understand this. I mean, there's a lot I don't understand. How, and I get there are resisting and obstructings that are filed that some may look at as questionable in terms of the charge. I get that. But I'm also trying to figure out how an officer gets injured, that there are punches to the face of officers. I mean, Mr. Gaines, I don't get it.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm saying I did not see any punches to the face when I observed the video.
Well, tell you what, I'm certainly not changing any conditions. Can you explain to me one reason why I shouldn't raise his bond?
Your Honor, he has appeared for every court date, and he has not picked up any new charges. He has not had any contact with the complainant on the domestic violence or any of the officers. My understanding from him is that he has only come to Washtenaw County for court. He does not even reside in this county. It does not appear he's a flight risk, nor that he is a danger to the community. He is here with his father. He has come to every court date, and he's highly responsive to my calls and texts. And absent the no offer in this matter, we'd be looking to resolve it.
Anything else from the people?
No, Your Honor.
You know what? I'm not changing his condition in the bond. I'm not at this juncture going to up his bond either, although of rights I should. Of rights, I don't think he should be out around tethered or not, given that behavior. But I'll let Judge Perry deal with that after she hears the preliminary examination. Bond will continue. Motion for bond reduction or changing condition is denied.
Thank you.